Student leaders from different political organizations at the University of Fort Hare yesterday called on students to take part in a peaceful picket. The students are, amongst other things, demanding online teaching and learning materials and NSFAS allowances. Now, to tell us more, we're now joined on the line by University of Fort Hare student activist Mihla Hanise. Very good afternoon to you. Thank you so very much for joining us on SABC News.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you to your viewers.
Just as a start, let's start off, please, by you taking us through all the issues that you're currently having, which have now caused you to have this picket, and also just take us through, the call that you had yesterday. How was the outcome, and really how was the turnout, considering the fact that many students are kind of turning away due to the fact that we're in the middle of this pandemic and having to social distance.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for having us in the show.
Sure.
Yesterday, we did, of course, organize the picket student activists from all formations at the institution. We did have a good turnout yesterday. We had about 50 students that participated in both campuses. And we drafted memorandums of demand that we wanted to submit to the institution. But the university did not send anyone upon request to come and accept the memorandum of demand. But of course, we went to Buffalo City Municipality, the local municipality that our university is forming part of, to deliver the memorandums of demand, simply because we know that local government is an external stakeholder in the university council. Part of the issues that we had in our memorandum of demand is that it was registration number one, it was issue of e-learning and academic issues. To unpack a few, you would understand that in January till March, students at the University of Fort Hare did not commence with the academic year simply because there were challenges with registration. So we went to lockdown with those issues that were not attended to, and without a resolution or implementation to some of the concessions that the university and the SRC made. Yeah. So amidst with those challenges, there were other challenges that sufficed during lockdown, and we could not even continue or commence with the academic activities simply because we know for a fact that many of our students do not afford and are from poor families, so they don't afford data. So the institution did promise the students that they are going to disperse data to all of the students so that we can commence with the academic activities. But till date, there are many of our students that have not received the data as promised by the institution. Also, there are students that do not have laptops that were using the university laptops, but now they are at their homes and do not have laptops. The university in April did promise to purchase or to procure those laptops, and so that they can be able to deliver them to the students. Till date, none of the students that did register for those laptops have received those laptops. Also, what is alarming and concerning for us as students of Fort Hare is that other students in other institutions have commenced with the academic year and are in the middle of their examination. And with us, we have never commenced our academic year, and the university is not giving us any catch-up plan to bring us into confidence so that we know that at least there's something that is happening. And also remember that Dr. Blaine Zimane did announce that the first cohort of students must be able to return to campus, which must be, which is the 33% that he did announce. But till date, the university has not issued the permit so that they can phase in the first cohort. Also, another crisis that we have is that students that graduated in the institution have not received their graduation certificates, have not received academic records, and many have not received any confirmatory letters that confirm that they have completed their qualifications. Also, there are many other NSFAS related issues that the university has not attended to that are affecting the population of our students. You would know that students of the University of Fort Hare, some of them have not received their allowances, and some of our students are facing evictions. Those who are not forming part of the residence system of the university, who are using private accommodations, they have not received their non-res allowances. As a result, they are facing evictions in those residences wherein they are living. Also, other landlords have decided to confiscate the properties of those students simply because of the areas in rent that the university has not paid to the students.
Yeah.
So generally, those are the problems that we are facing as the students of Fort Hare.
Mihla, you started, your conversation by telling me that, you sent a memorandum of demand. You'd put a memorandum of demand together, and that the University of Fort Hare didn't actually send anyone to receive that memorandum of demands. Did you get a sufficient explanation as to why nobody was at least sent to receive that memorandum? And did that add to your level of irritation yesterday as you were picketing and hoping that you would be heard, the fact that nobody came out to receive your memorandum of demands?
The university said that they are operating virtually. There are no senior staff members that are on campus who have the powers or who have the delegation from the university senior staff to receive the memorandum. So we were really frustrated about that, but we anticipated that situation because even in previous struggles that we embarked on as student activists, the university has always been reluctant to come and receive the memorandum of demand. But for the Alice campus, there was the dean of students that received the memorandum. But in the Eastern campus, there was no manager that was there to receive the memorandum of demand. So it did irritate our students. But of course, we said we are not going to be derailed by that, but we are going to forward it to the university officials via email so that they can look at it and respond on Tuesday. Because the students, we convened yesterday, and before we dispersed, we discussed as to what are we going to do next week. So the students said, let us give the university up until Tuesday to respond, so that if they don't respond, we convene on Wednesday and we continue where we left off and take a resolution as to what are we going to do. Do we go back forcefully to our residences, or what do we do next? But that will be confirmed on Wednesday when we convene as students and have our meeting so that we can have a way forward with regards to the matters that are affecting us as a student population.
Yeah. Mihla, on your list of demands, I understand you also have the issue of you're calling for N2 exclusion, and the Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Bladen Zamande, he has said that the N2 rule still stands for students who registered before 2018. What is your issue with regards to this, and where do you stand? Can you clarify that for our viewers, please?
With regards to N+2, we as the students of Fort Hare are totally rejecting the N+2 rule, simply because it prejudices those that were not funded by NSFAS, because N+2 rule should be able to calculate the years that NSFAS funded the students. But now the new N+2 rule that the ET is applying is even counting the years wherein NSFAS did not fund the student. For example, if student X studied at UWC or at Fort Hare for 2 years but took a gap year because that student did not have funding or was not funded by any sponsor, but due to a financial reason had to drop out of the university and came back and applied for NSFAS. NSFAS is not in the position to count those years because those years were not funded by NSFAS. But now NSFAS considers those years, and it makes the student, it prejudices the students because you find that a degree maybe is 4 years, and NSFAS will be able to fund only the 2 years out of the 4, because they are saying that in their system the student was indeed a student for 2 years, which NSFAS did not fund. So we as the students of Fort Hare are totally rejecting that, and we are saying NSFAS cannot under any circumstance be able to use that rule because it prejudices those that were not funded by NSFAS and drop out because of sufficient reasons that are related to finances. So that is where we stand as a student of Fort Hare with regard to the policy. And we have made efforts to try to challenge that. And our case has been admitted by the Public Prosecutor's Office, and they are looking at it, and they promise that they are going to get back to us with regard to that matter.
All right. Mihla, thank you so very much for giving us your time, and certainly we'll stay on the story, and hopefully you'll keep us updated as to what's happening. Do keep in touch with us. Thank you very much for talking to us, all right?
Thank you, ma'am, and thanks to the viewers.